Hey everybody, welcome back. This is Miss Faye and this is my world. Okay, today we're going to talk about how to meet your perfect mate. Okay, but before we get started, I want to say welcome. Welcome to all of the new viewers and welcome to all of the new subscribers. I really appreciate you being here. And I hope that I can say something in this message that can help to improve your life. Now, on this channel, I started answering your questions. So at the end of the video, I'll show you a link where you can send questions that you would like for me to answer. And I'll either answer these questions on the air, or I will send you an email with the answer. Now, for those of you who prefer that I send an email and don't read your letters on the air, just let me know in the email, okay? And I will comply. So let's dig into this. I get quite a few letters from you asking how to meet the man of your desires. Okay? Now, I'm a spiritualist, and the way that I'll speak to you is through a spiritual perspective. Okay? But it works. Everything in this life is spiritual and it's energy. Okay? Now, many of you have heard about the law of attraction, and it works. It works. Like attracts like. Okay? Which means that whatever you desire in your life, you need to be a perfect match for that. Okay? Now that's, a lot of times that's kind of hard for people to understand that. You see? But, for instance, if you are an angry person all the time, but you would like a man who is a happy person all the time, it will never happen. You will only attract what you are inside. You see, and what you are inside is projected on the outside. I'm going slow because I want you to really grasp what I'm telling you here. When you go out to find a man, you're just putting yourself really at risk, because you're going out like a sheep amongst the wolves. And there's a lot of wolves out there. You understand? And women, you're just kind of like sitting ducks. Number one, men play so many games that you don't know about. You think that they're being serious, and they're just playing games with you and taking advantage of you. Only because they want one goal from you, and that's sex. Now, how do you weed through all of that and find an upstanding, decent man, the man that you desire? You see? Okay. This is my advice. Number one, you need to go inside yourself first. You need to settle down and decide what type of mate you would desire. Number one, a lot of women just go out and date people, because he looks good. And then you try to get to know him and find out that he is an awful person. You see? But if you go the spiritual path, go down the spiritual path, you will meet more of the men that you desire. Now, here's a disclaimer. You have to be what you desire. That's the ticket. You have to be that. So that's why I recommend, ladies, if you desire a long-lasting, loving partner, first, you got to be that. You have to be loving. You have to be everything that you want your partner to be. Because remember, it's energy. And like energy attracts like energy. So, you can dream all you want for this guy to be all these things, but if you're not that, it's very unlikely that it will happen. If you want change in your life, you have to change. See, it's all about you, not the other person, and not that you're going to luck up on somebody or you're going to accept anybody that comes to you because you feel desperate to have somebody. Don't look for men, number one, ladies. Don't look for men. I suggest that you go inside yourself. And if you pray, ask the divine to send you the man of your desires. Okay? But don't beg for it. Just go to your quiet place and ask for it. Another way, write down what you want and be specific. Write it down. You see? And you can put it somewhere where you can see it all the time, or you can just put it aside, because the divine knows your desire. And it shows that you trust in the divine when you do these things. You see? Now, you have to be ready. You can't just put it out there and then you just go about your day as usual. If you have not met the man of your desires yet, you probably need to make some changes in your own life. You see? So that you can measure up to where the man is. And then the man will approach you because he will be attracted to your energy. You understand? These things are all spiritual. It's not magic or anything like that. It's just that we have been groomed to go out looking for people. Remember, ladies, the man is supposed to look and chase for you. Now, men are visual. They are very visual, which means that you need to be looking your best at all times. Anytime you leave the house, you should be looking your best. You understand? Don't feel like, well, I'm just going around here to the corner store and you got your bonnet on. I see a lot of women going around like that. You got your bonnet on, you got your pajama pants on and your slippers, and you shuffling off to the store. Well, if you've already asked the divine for the man that you want, he could be at the store. And here you come looking all terrible. Well, you may miss that opportunity. You may miss that opportunity. When you ask for something, you have to be in the position to receive the blessing when it comes. You understand? Now, remember, people are attracted by your aura. Your aura. And so you want to be positive and happy to put that out and look your best. And there's no reason for a man not to approach you if you're putting out that kind of energy. You understand? But if you're going around looking like a slob, angry, frustrated, and all of this is showing on your face, men will pass you by. They will pass you by. You see, men are attracted by a woman's appearance. That's the first thing that attracts the man. The way you look. You see? Then he'll look at the way you carry yourself and how you interact, probably with other people. Now, this is something I want to tell you about men. Men will usually watch you for a long time before they approach you. You understand? Before they approach you. Now, and it doesn't matter if he has good intentions or not. Now, usually men that have good intentions, they're going to take a longer time to watch you. Because men with good intentions, usually they have more to lose if they make a bad decision. And they don't want to do that. So they take their time. But ladies, no matter what age man that you desire. I get a lot of letters. How do I get a man? Where do I go to meet the man or whatever? Number one, don't go on the dating site. Don't go there. That's Russian roulette. You 9 times out of 10, you're going to get shot down if you do that. Any man you meet on a dating site, those men are usually, especially if they're older men, they're just usually out there for sex. That's what they're looking for. And on top, I'm about to say if they weren't looking for that, but no. On top of that, many of them are looking for a woman that has resources. There's a lot of men out there who are looking for women to support them. You see? A lot of men online, they have either been married and divorced. And if I were you, I would question those men who have been divorced. Because why were they divorced? And don't just let a man tell you that, his wife was the problem. They all going to tell you that. They all are going to tell you that. When many times they are the problem. They are the problem. Most times women won't leave a man if he is a good provider and he is pleasant. He is nice to them. Most women won't leave a man for that. You see? So that's something that you need to keep in mind when these men are telling you the stories about how the wife was a terrible person and the wife did this and the wife did that. A lot of those are just lies. Because he feels like he's got to come up with some excuse to get you involved with him. Okay? Now, I just wanted to hand out that preface about how to meet the right man. If you really want the right man, ask the divine to bring him to you. Write down the specifics of what you want this man to be. And when you write down the specifics, you look at them and make sure that you measure up to that. You understand? Because the divine is only going to bring you your match. Not going to bring you some pie in the sky guy. You got to be a match to him if you want him. You understand? The divine doesn't work like that. So I had a few letters that came in, and I will start with one. And all of these letters, kind of pertain to the subject. Being with your match. Being with the perfect match for you. Okay, so let's read this first letter. This is from a lady in Ghana. And she says that she has a little problem and she needs some advice on it. I mistakenly dialed a foreign number in the USA. It happened to be a man. So after we spoke, he became a friend and we started communicating on WhatsApp. And phone calls. I bet that was expensive. He doesn't really communicate with me often, but once in a while I would send him a text or call him. Okay. Oh, I know what this is. It's the WhatsApp app. And I just wanted you to know it's a lot of scammers. Soon as they meet you, they want you to go over there to WhatsApp. I don't know what the regulations over there are, but It's a red flag if you're online or you meet any man that asks you to go over there to what's up. Be wary of that. Okay? Uh, they feel like they can be looser, and say to you whatever they want to say to you or whatever on this WhatsApp application. Okay? So, and you say here that sometimes if you don't hear from him in a while, then you'll send him a text or call him. Why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? Number one, this is a long distance kind of thing, and long distance relationships rarely work. Okay? Don't call him, don't text him, don't chase a man. Number one. Okay? He told me that he likes me and we were communicating as friends. It's been a year and a half now. That's a long time. But you're kind of like pen pals, that kind of thing. You understand? And it's okay to have a friend. It's okay to have a friend. But these phone calls can be expensive. So watch out with that. You don't want to go in debt contacting this man. Now, if he's contacting you and it's on his dime, that's another thing. But don't you call him on your dime. Don't do that. Okay? I'm really worried because I wanted him to come down so we can get to know each other well before anything. I guess, well before anything you think that could happen. He said to me that he and his wife have been separated for 20 years, and he is happy with that. All right, for him to tell you that, it looks like he's not really looking to get into a real relationship with anybody. He communicates with you because you keep up with him. That's what it looks like in this letter. I don't see where he's really making an effort to be with you. And my advice is that you let this go. This is really nothing. It's like vapor. It's like vapor. You don't even know this man that you're communicating with over a year, but you don't really know him. He's way over here, you way over there. You see, he could still be married. Men lie. They tell you they're separated, but he didn't say he was divorced, which means he's probably still communicating with his wife. You can't know these things being so far away from this man. You see? So no, I don't believe that this is the right man for you. And if you want to be friends with him and just keep it light, and you just like to communicate with somebody, that's cool. But don't think that you can build a relationship with this man. I don't see it happening. I don't see it happening. You're too far away from the man. He's not making an effort even to keep up with you. You are calling him when you haven't heard from him in a while. In his mind, you're just friends. And men don't mind talking to you. They don't mind talking to you. But if men are not spending money on you, you understand? If he's not calling you on his dime or doing things for you on his time, he's really not that interested. You see? I'm pretty sure this man is very occupied in the U.S. So don't hang your hat on that one. My advice is to let that go. Okay? Now let's look at another letter here. This is about an alcoholic husband. I wanted to see your thoughts about marrying a man who has an alcohol problem. He has been in and out of rehabs, but he continues to relapse. He says that he doesn't want to keep going through this, and neither do I. I don't see why you are doing it. Okay, I have bailed him out of jail for for drinking while driving. I have locked him out of the house, but the police says he has the right to be there. I had my house before I met him. What can I do? I don't want to leave my house. Okay, here's the thing. If you are not married to him, but he has lived with you for some time, legally, you have to evict him to get him out of your house. You have to take him to court just like you would a renter. Take him to court and have him evicted. Now, if you are married to him, the house is yours. It's in your name, but you married to the man. Okay? Now, state to state, these laws change. State to state. I happen to be in, it's not a community property state. Whatever you own before you get married is yours. Now, you may be in a state, once you get married, it's combined property. So you have to check with your state about that. And if that's the case, if you're married to him and your house is now community property, that could be an issue. Because you could stand to lose your house in a divorce from this man. Now, he's an alcoholic and he's in and out of rehab. That's a dilemma. That's a dilemma for you. You see? Now, again, if you are married to him, you need to get legal counsel. Check your state to see if you divorce him, would you have to split your house or whatever with him? You see? But if you're in a state that if you divorce him and that house is still yours, that's your answer. You don't have to put up with no alcoholic husband. You see? So I hope that my advice kind of helps you, because you need to do some research and find out what your rights are in a situation like this. But I do figure that if you're not married and he's lived in your home for a number of years, you will have to legally evict him. And hopefully you won't have to pay him in the process, because these things can be very tricky. I've known some men who moved in with women and lived there a few years in a certain state, and then when the woman wanted to evict him, he sued the woman for palimony. You understand? You need some legal advice if it goes that way. You see? But I wish you the best, and I hope that it works out for you. All right? Now, let's go to this other letter. This is a young lady, and she's talking about two guys in this letter. Okay, the first one. I met this guy on a dating app in 2017. I will call him Tyrone. So you don't get confused. Okay, so she's talking about two men here. The first one's name is Tyrone. Okay, and apparently she knew this Tyrone when they were younger, but the Tyrone didn't remember. You see, but she really likes this Tyrone. Now, Tyrone got into trouble. I'm not going to read all that part. But Tyrone got into some legal trouble. And he missed his court date. So now Tyrone is going to prison. All right. Now, she started dating online again, which is... and met this guy called Tom. You like the tease, don't you? Yeah, you like the tease. All right. But this Tom was not really your type. But you gave him a shot anyway, probably because you didn't have anybody else. You know, your love, Tyrone, was off in jail or prison or wherever. So you gave Tom a shot. Now, the thing about Tom was that he was overweight. He was overweight. But you decided there's something about Tom that you liked. He was probably very nice to you. And you decided that you and Tom could lose weight together. Tom was like 300 pounds, and you are 185, almost 200 pounds. So you decided to do this activity together, lose weight. And I think that's a grand thing. I really do. Now, Tom had a daughter, and the daughter eventually moved in. So now Tom's in your house. Okay? Tom moved in with you. Now, you asked Tom about his future plans, and he really doesn't have any. He's living day to day, and you're kind of put out by that, you see. But Tom is there. He is there for you. Even when you found out that you were pregnant with Tyrone's baby, Tom was the one that ran to your aid and took care of you throughout the pregnancy. But your heart still belonged to Tyrone. You see? But Tom was the one who stood by you when you were in need. You see? Now, Tyrone, he was good when he was there, but he's in prison. And you say here that, okay, you find out you're pregnant, and you find out that Tyrone is getting out 7 weeks later. But Tyrone is already chatting with another woman online. Well, see, in prison, these guys have access to computers. So they're online dating. You understand? And meeting women and getting other women to send them what they need when they're in jail, you know, like monies or gifts or whatever. And they can also have these women to come visit them while they're in prison. These men are not alone in prison. Okay? So now you find out that he's been chatting with another woman, and you and Tyrone, you get into a big argument. Okay, you say that you allowed Tom and his daughter to move in because you had a back injury that happened at a Walmart. So I hope you're getting paid for that. You understand? And you're losing your eyesight. So Tom was a big help to come and help you. And now here you are pregnant with Tyrone's baby. Now, I hope you're sure that it's Tyrone's and not Tom's. You see, when you're dealing with two men like that, you know, because you love Tyrone, don't mean that, you know, that baby is his. You need to check that out. And that's my advice on that. Okay? He had a daughter, and the daughter eventually moved in. He was a cook, Tom. He was a cook, and he cooked you gourmet meals 3 times a day. You living the life. You're living the life with him. Now, time passed, and the problems came. Like one time I asked him, did he see himself 5 years? And he told me he never even thinks about those things. Well, why is that such a big red flag? Why is that such a big red flag? Because he didn't have an answer for you then. What was your 5-year plan? Did you discuss it with him after he told you he didn't have one? You know, maybe he would have been on board with your plan. You see, it's not right for you to just throw away a man when you throw a question on him like that. What do you expect in 5 years? Where do you expect to be in 5 years? Some people are too busy living in the present to worry about what's going to happen 5 years down the line. If you two are together and you know where you would like to be in 5 years, why don't you discuss it with Tom? You see? But you didn't, because you are still hooked on Tyrone, and now you're trying to find a reason to get rid of Tom. You see, that's why you threw that question on Tom. That's why you did that. All right, so anyway, you both lost a tremendous amount of weight together, but you wasn't still happy. You wasn't happy. See, it wasn't the weight that was the problem with Tom. You just didn't fall for him. And that's understandable. You understand? You don't love everybody that loves you. It happens all the time. But you used Tom. You used him because you needed help. You were injured and losing your eyesight. Now here you are finding yourself pregnant. And you want Tyrone to come back. You want Tyrone to come back. But Tyrone is not thinking about that. He's thinking about somebody else. You see? Now, you go on to talk about, that Tom is a soft-spoken guy and he's not a good communicator, and he doesn't have drive. Oh, no, you said that he didn't even drive due to anxiety, but now he's overcome that and now he drives. Yeah, you have been a good influence on Tom's life. And I think that's a good thing. So don't look at it like it's a terrible thing. You see, I don't see where Tom is abusing you in this letter. You just are not in love with Tom. That's all. That's plain and simple what it is. Soon after he proposed, I gave him an ultimatum and told him I accept the engagement, but as my husband, I would need him to provide, lead, and protect. I told him if he did not meet these requirements, I would not be in the relationship and I would move forward. That's what you meant. Okay. All right. So apparently it looks like Tom agreed to your requirements, and it says here that you both moved into a new home. Okay. Things were looking up for us. But he didn't hold up his word, not to mention I've only seen one side of him. I never saw him goofy or sad or mad. That was concerning if we were to be married. I wanted to see all sides of him after 2.5 years. So we ended the relationship, but I didn't want to kick him out because he had his daughter with me. Okay, number one, why would you move into a new home with this man knowing that you really didn't love him, and now you didn't even marry him yet? I don't even understand that. I don't understand. It sounds to me that you kind of took advantage of Tom. You kind of took advantage of him. You already knew everything you needed to know about Tom. But now here you are in a new home, and you don't want Tom there. You really want Tyrone there. You understand? I can see where you're going with this. You see, you really want Tyrone. But Tom is the man who held you down. You see, and now you want to put all these stipulations on Tom and talk about what Tom isn't and what Tom can't do and all this kind of thing. But you accepted to move into a new home with Tom. You see? And let his daughter move in. And you should have taken your time. And you probably did, because it looks like you've been with Tom like 2.5 years. You knew what you were getting into. This is no surprise. You knew exactly what you were getting into when you moved into the new home with Tom. You knew who he was. You understand? I don't see in this letter where Tom was deceiving you. You had plenty of time to know exactly what you were dealing with. But, see, in your heart, you still had that love for Tyrone. That's the issue. Now, here we go. Let's see. So now, I tried to reach Tyrone, but I found out he went back to jail. Why? You know, they say love is blind. But love don't need to be stupid. Why would you want a man from jail? Why would you want that? Now, I understand, you know, that Tyrone was good to you when he was there. You understand? He was good with, I think it was, you have kids? I think I saw that you had kids. And Tom was good with them, and, you know, let me see. Okay, yeah. When you met Tyrone, you were in a townhome. And he furnished the townhome. He created chores for the kids and brought them bikes, and he was teaching them how to ride, and bought you all gifts, and everything was cool. You see? But, you know, he had a tainted past, and he went off to jail. He went off to jail. You understand? Now, here you are with seemingly a good man, Tom. Seemingly a good man, but you're not in love with Tom. That's all it is. You just don't love Tom. But you need to think again about Tyrone. He's been in and out of jail a number of times, and I don't know if you know what happens in jail. I don't know how long he was in jail, but you need to be suspect of Tyrone, because it's a lot of homosexuality that happens in jail, and you don't want to be a part of that, because when these guys come out of jail, they don't stop that activity. You know, they've gotten used to it, and they just keep going. Keep going with you and with, you know, with men. Not saying that Tyrone has accepted that energy, but I would be weary to date anybody from jail. I would be weary. Now, Tom, he's a chef, which means he's a good cook. He can make money if he's not already making money. He's lost weight for you. You required him to lose weight. And then you want him to protect you, to provide for you, and to profess his love for you. And he was willing to do that. He was willing to do that. Now, when the baby came, that you believe is Tyrone's baby, and I really think you need to go do a DNA and make sure that that's Tyrone's baby. And you you reached out to Tyrone, but he's back in jail. Now, you worried that your daughter, who is now 6 months, still has not met her biological father. Why is that important to you? Because you're in love with him? As far as this, as your daughter knows, Tom is the father. He's the one that was there when she was born. He even cut the umbilical cord. He was there for me late nights and early mornings, making bottles and trying to help me pump. Although I could, since he was holding back feelings of resentment, maybe. Well, that's what you think. That Tom was holding back resentments because you had this baby with Tyrone. Okay. I wanted to give him time after these ultimatums that you gave Tom. Okay, because really you're trying to push him away. And you wanted to give him time to get on his feet. He stayed with me 5 months and then he moved to California. So it's 8 months he's been gone until today. Tyrone randomly messages me on Facebook Messenger from prison. Well, he just wants to keep in touch with you, Tyrone. People who are in prison, they want to communicate with people. So, yeah, they'll communicate with anybody who will respond to them, But don't believe that Tyrone is just communicating with you. Tyrone is probably communicating with a lot of women from prison. You understand? But I don't advise women to date men in prison, period. I don't advise that. That's a very hard road that you don't need. Okay? But you made plans with Tyrone. Now, he's in prison. But Tom, you done run him off. So he went to California. But Tyrone is chatting with you from prison and making plans for when he gets out. That you two are going to be together and all of that. Okay. We reconnected. Talking about Tyrone. He was getting ready to get out in a year. So we chatted, talking about getting married, starting a family, and we planned everything out. That was a mistake. Why would you want to marry somebody from prison? Because she was in love with him. You was in love with him. But what about Tyrone? Was he really in love with you? You see, just because a man will come and do all sorts of good things for you, you were in a townhome. You see? Tyrone came to your home. It's not like you moved into Tyrone's home. He moved into your home. So, for his gratitude, he was furnishing the townhome because he was planning on living there, bonding with the kids and all that. But he's a criminal. He went to jail. Now he's in prison. So it looks like Tyrone is in and out of jail like that. It's not just, one-time shot. He's in and out of jail. He has grown accustomed to that. You understand? Now, let's get on to the end of this letter. Yeah, when Tom found out that you were pregnant, he dropped his life in California and moved back to be with you. Do you know how many women out here would love to have a man like that? He's proved to you that he wants to be with you. He's proved to you that he probably loves you. But you want to throw him away because you want the jailbird. You want to be with Tyrone. Now, on the birth of your daughter, this daughter that you believe is Tyrone's, I did not give our daughter his last name. She has mine. So you gave your daughter your last name. So my question to you is, how do I co-parent with him? You want to co-parent with somebody in prison. That's a bad idea. That is a very bad idea. Because number one, why would you want your daughter exposed to that? To prison life. Or to somebody in and out of prison. Why would you want your... I don't care if it is her biological father. Your daughter probably looks at Tom like he's the father. He was there when she was born. Even cut the cord. Tom is the father, not Tyrone. It doesn't matter who the biological father is. It's the father that has committed, is ready or willing to commit his life to your daughter. That's the father. You understand? You need to take another look at Tom. This man left his life in California to come back and take care of you. That's a gem. That's a gem. You need to forget Tyrone totally and go to Tom. You see? I'm telling you, many times we feel like we fall in love with a person, you understand? And it really could be infatuation. You know, you knew him before. I saw in the letter you knew him before. He didn't remember that, but you remember. Maybe you liked him then or whatever. But you have children now. And if you want a man to be with you and these children, it's probably Tom and not Tyrone. Because Tyrone has a pattern of in and out of jail. In and out of jail. That's no life for you or your children. No, you don't want that. Let Tyrone go and embrace Tom. Embrace Tom. And if you can't, then let Tom go too. Let Tom go find somebody who can love Tom for who he is. For who he is. If you are incapable of loving this man, let him go. And don't contact him again. Don't keep pulling him back into your life when you know you don't want him. It's not fair. It's not fair to him. Let this man go if you can't love him. You see? And don't just keep him and take advantage of him either. Because you losing your sight and you hurt your back and you can't do things for yourself. You understand? That's on you. That's on you. And it's not fair for you to put that on somebody else. Now, I don't know how you're going to take this message, but I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm going to tell you the honest truth. Stop taking advantage of Tom. If you don't love Tom, let him go. And if you think you love Tyrone, I don't care if it is his daughter. You headed for a rough life with Tyrone. You headed for a rough life with that one. You understand? So, I hope that this advice helps. And I hope that it helps others who may find themselves in the same type of situation. You understand? Men from prison are no good for you. I once dated a man, and I kind of dated him for at least a month before he told me that he was from prison. He was like right out of prison when I met him, but he didn't let on to that. I had no idea. This is the first time that I had been with somebody that had been in prison. And he had some strange ways when it came to sex. Now, this was before I was spiritual. I did a lot of things. I lived a full life before I became spiritual. And that's why I'm able to tell you these things, because I have experienced a lot of it. A lot of it. This man from prison was only coming to take advantage of me. You understand? I had a business at that time. He wanted to be involved with the business. He wanted to get paid from the business. You see? He would have moved in if I would have asked him to move in. But I wasn't about to do that. No, no. And you shouldn't either. You shouldn't either. Ladies, wake up to this. Wake up to this. A lot of times women would throw a good man away because maybe he doesn't look the way that you want him to look. Maybe you're not attracted to him right away. But if a man is good to you, it can grow on you. Real love can grow out of a situation like that. If he's not repulsive and if he is not mistreating you, real deep love can grow from that. You understand? Understand? Not fleeting infatuation. That's not worth anything. Okay? So I'm gonna leave it here. I think you got the message, and I hope you understand. And I really wish you the best. I really wish you the best. But look at your situation again. Take a long look at your situation. You see, Tom seems like the better choice to me. The better choice. So now, those of you who would like to send in a question, here you go. Here is the link. Send your questions to MissFaye'sWorld@hotmail.com. That's MissFaye'sWorld@hotmail.com. And I will try to answer your questions. Now, realize that the questions are coming in now, and you just be patient. And I know that some folks are asking for me to let them know when your answer will air, if I answer it on the air. Now, the thing is, if you receive an email with your answer in it, that is your answer. Although in future videos, I may go into it even deeper. Understand? Now, those of you who ask for me to let you know, I will try to let you know when it's going to air. But the way that you will get your answer for sure is don't miss any videos. I upload a video every day. So just keep up with me, and I'm sure that you'll get your question answered. Okay? I'm going to leave it here, and I'm going to say thank you all for supporting this channel. Thank you for leaving those comments. Keep them coming because I really like knowing how you feel about these messages and if they are meaningful to you. Okay? And thank you for those that leave a donation. I really appreciate it so much. I wish you well, and I wish you happiness. And I hope to see you next time.